Alright, so Rialto. So
Does
first thing
chat
to
room
talk
work?
about, we scouted that they would probably run goats, like that was just our impression. We ran ball comp against it, which on first point is certainly viable. We're running ball comp with a Pharah, a Genji, a Sombra, and an Ana, and a Mercy. The big thing about our comp to note is we do not have a support ult to counter their ults. So Grav is potentially team fight, or potentially team fight winning ult. Shatter's potentially team fight winning. So we have to play that with them, like that in mind, and play spread, play off high ground, and yeah, keep those things in mind. Um, so I'm here and I scout. I go for a hack. I get a hack off and I'm just farming. Can you guys hear, or is it muted? Is it?
It's muted.
You can turn up the volume yourself.
Okay, I got it.
Sorry.
No, volumes separately. Just
Yeah.
Anyway.
One thing I just want to say with this comp, since they're attacking, they can quickly switch off goats to go dive and counter our DPS. And running the Ana here, it means that if they do switch, she's like the easiest target to dive, apart from the Genji if he uses all his movement.
Yeah.
So that's just like sort of one thing to take into consideration when we're coming up with a defensive comp.
Yeah.
If we do want to run the triple.
Yeah. If we check out the Oasis VOD later, we'll find, like, you'll see that pretty much what broke down is Silver Sacks was getting farmed because they were running basically dive goats, and they would just dive on him over and over and over and kill him every time he was coming out of spawn. And even though our DPS were trading most of the time.
Lucio, or you can go quad DPS.
Yeah, you can go quad DPS as well.
But that's like sort of an adjustment you need to make before. You can't really make that mid match. It's just harder.
Before we go on,
Silver plays a DPS.
Before we go on, I will have to. Are we recording this right now with our voice comms and the video, or not?
What do you mean by our voice comms in the video? Are you talking about like us talking right now?
Yeah, like us talking right now.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm recording like just on my computer. Like I'm just recording a VOD so I can upload that for the other players to see. Anyways, so other things to note. Your positioning here on Pharah, Mercy is fine. I think that's good. Like that's where I'd be playing.
That Zen was one. Initially tried to get off a boot.
Pichu's main poking. Really, you could be playing from high ground here. It's not major, but like if you're playing from high ground, actually, like if you're playing from like right around here, then you could probably poke for free, and the diva would have to come and contest you, and you don't like get free ult charge. Instead, you're kind of poking into this Ryan barrier and not really doing much. So you definitely could be playing high ground, and you could be building Blade a bit quicker, but it's not that major. They're not like speeding in to punish you or some shit, you know. And even then, like you would have dash, so you'd be safe. How did I get rid of that stuff that I just drew?
Clear.
Where's clear?
On the toggle button.
I see. Alright.
That's Lucio's one.
Okay, so let me go back to see how that happened. Is there a way I can just, go 5 seconds? Cool. So their Lucio is full HP. He takes a direct rocket, and that wasn't even coordinated. That was pretty lucky. We just so happened to slam in when he was already taking a direct rocket, so we got to kill off that. The slam there, I think, is fine because you're slamming the front line where the Brig just so happens to be playing in the back line. If you were slamming like the back line, I mean, also happily, like, you know, the Lucio was also there or within the area of effect to get the damage. But if you were near the Brig to get stunned, then it could have been a big feat. But it's kind of one of those things where you just need to be... Go ahead.
I think it's also good because the Zarya isn't high charge yet.
Yeah, she's not high charge yet, so it's...
One thing I do want to say is that Pharah, you should be calling out your direct hits. That's sort of something like, if you do land one on a squishy, that's something that the rest of the DPS can sort of focus.
I actually did call that out there. If he like on pauses for like 2 seconds, I would have called it out, but it was just right as then.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
And then
it happened immediately. It was kind of lucky.
And then I know Chrono's not here, but just for the recording, call when you're not with the Pharah, because it sort of hampers her if she doesn't know, because sometimes she might play aggressive thinking you're with her and she doesn't know.
Yeah.
So.
Lucio's one.
Nice.
Purple.
Yep.
Yeah, big purple.
So
Yeah, I
again,
did call it out.
Yeah. So we got a purple. He calls a purple. The Rhine is like 1 HP. Ferris kind of like shooting up over. We'll see what happens after. We boop him away though. That was kind of not what we needed to do there. We just kind of save his life. I know, like it was accidental sort of, but I think it's just kind of one of those things you need to be aware of whenever you're. I know he was probably going in to try to do damage, but it ends up actually booping him away to safety. And he probably
There's Zen's
yeah,
coming. Zen's half.
he just charged.
Ryan's low, trying to charge out.
Did I get one? Okay, so ever people's marking the sushi.
Alright, let me see how this happens. Again, like,
Did I get
Ichi,
one?
you're just kind of not using high ground. There's no reason to not use high ground here. Like, if you just use high ground, then, like, the Zarya, you can just play from an angle and, like, kind of, like, peek for shurikens and then go away, and you're only taking a little bit of poke from the Zarya. Instead, you're on the floor and taking full dick beam energy, you know? So, just play from high ground there, and you're, like, there's no way you could die here. Again, because we're playing this comp, you have to be within LOS of the Ana to get any heals, and the Pharah is probably not going to be healing you anyway. But you leave LOS and
Watch out.
you die there. We get the res off because they're all kiting anyway.
He died on
So
cart.
it was fine, but still, it's
Oh, you were on left.
not a good thing to do. Because that gave the Zarya. Let me see. Let me actually. I'm curious. Probably gave her like a decent bit of charge, just getting that kill off you. Yeah, it gave her like about.
We're going.
Because she's about.
There's
right
Zen's
now,
coming. Zen's half.
and then she starts damaging you right about
Ryan's
here.
low, trying to charge
And it
out.
puts her up to about 40. So that's not
Did I get
nothing. I mean, that's. Yeah, we res you, but still,
Watch out.
like that's valuable for them to get that kill.
Oh, nice.
He died on cart.
Oh, you were on left.
Okay, so I am 51 to EMP. I should be using high ground. Like pretty much all of us should be using high ground more because they're on like just full goats, like Rhine goats. They can't really contest us, except for the. I mean, the Lucio kind of can. Oh wait, what? Who did that? Where were we? Okay. The D.Va can contest us. The Lucio can kind of contest us, but it's harder for them to contest us. I should be chilling over here and just farming, but instead I'm like back here and I'm good.
Griggs one.
Big purple. Big purple.
Diva.
Yeah, Diva's one. Diva's one.
I tried to keep him off.
Diva's your one. Let's go over that.
Big purple. Big
Oh, they're
purple.
super low. They're super low. Why won't I fucking go back? Make sure.
Diva.
Big purple. Big purple.
So that's a big old purple. You see, we got their Zen is a 1 HP. Their Brig is 1 HP. Their Lucio's nearly 1 HP. Their Zarya's about half HP. I think barraging here is a decent thing to do. It's pretty decent, especially considering the D.Va over here is like contested.
Yeah, I should have been there a few seconds.
But I think a better angle to take, because like you'll see where you barrage in a second. Over here. And falling from the sky and doing that's the same play I would make. But if you were just a little bit over here where you were using this high ground as cover, then you would have done the same thing, except you probably wouldn't have been able to take any poke from the D.Va. They also fire strike you. We're healing you, but we can't really heal you anymore. We don't have any we don't have a nano for you either, so.
Diva.
You trade here and you get a kill that has some value, and they're all very low. I think
I tried to keep him off.
Diva's your one.
I think we do win this fight.
Also, Silver Sex's positioning here. It's kind of like I get why he's there, because I hacked this mega. Who's this shadow over here? Is that Diva? I think this is Diva over here on their team. But it's still kind of a risky position to be in, because if they had noticed that you were there earlier, they could have just sped into you, stunned you, and killed you probably pretty quickly. We probably, like, the better position to be would be to just, like, get up on high ground, and then if you're getting pressured, like, if they come around up that way and then try to flush you off high ground, then you can just go back to this health pack and then come back around. If they come up this way, then you can just drop and go to this mini. You can also drop and go all the way down that way. There's a lot of different ways you can go. Like, you have more options playing from high ground, basically. And you're just more difficult to contest. But there, like where you were over there, there's a really good chance that if they noticed you earlier, they could have just sped right into you and killed you pretty quickly, and that would have been really big. Also, you're not really healing anybody from this angle. You get good value purples, but you would have been able to get the same value from high ground. Pretty much everybody on our team did not use high ground, and against like a ground goods comp, that's what we need to be doing 110%, like hands down.
They're
super
also,
low, they're super low.
Using high ground and using crossfires, it helps your Mercy out because it gives her different targets to fly to in case she gets in trouble.
Totally. Make sure you say. So here it's clean up, but Pig Dog dies here, which isn't good.
Pig Dog.
How did he die?
Big purple, big
Oh, they're super low. They're super low.
He rolls into one.
Okay, so he's like full HP.
Big purple.
He rolls into all of them. The Zarya is like full energy.
Yeah, he basically gets beamed by the Zarya.
Oh, they're super low. They're super low. Make sure you say. Yeah, I think part of it too is because he rolled in. There was not really much of it. Like, I know he rolled in to do some damage, but he probably just could have walked over. You know, he didn't have to use his grapple in, and that way he would have had the grapple to get out. Say hello, Pig Dog.
Too
I
late.
can EMP if needed.
Sorry.
No, you guys are fine. You don't need to
No,
ult.
baby Diva, don't let her get back.
Now Zarya, kill Zarya.
That was alright.
Alright, so the fight's over pretty much. We're down Pig Dog.
I think
Go on, what's up?
I think Silver Stacks was over there because the stairway to get high ground. I think that's what
I mean, yeah,
he was
that's what
just
I
caught
talked about.
there.
That's what I talked about, but he wasn't playing from high ground earlier, I think. Maybe he was, but from what I saw in the VOD earlier, I think he was playing from low ground.
Well, like, even if he does play here, he's only gonna have this sightline unless he rotates up here.
Yeah.
Which, you know, if he's gonna do that, he should just be up here anyways, because they're either just gonna speed through here or they're just gonna come here.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. Maybe he was just there to try and get an ante off.
But even then, he could have gotten the ante off from over here.
Yeah, especially if we were like pile driving in.
She's won.
I got her.
Big
I'm
stack.
back.
Alright, cool. What I wanted to talk about was ult economy. We're coming in on pretty much all of our ults. The only ult that we used for that fight was our barrage, which is fine. We have Nano Blade. We have EMP. We have mines. The order of priority that I would choose is I would mines first to try to get value and cooldowns out. If we start to get some kills off of that, then we don't really need to use ults. We can just keep building barrage off of it. The subsequent fight we can use Nano Blade if we need to. EMP should be our last resort in my opinion, because we can build ults off of EMP, you know. So if I EMP early in a fight, it might be fine, but it might also be a waste. Also, I can use it to counter beat. EMP Blade's one big combo that we should be like. EMP Blade, Nano Blade is probably too much of an investment, but it would absolutely win a team fight if it was pulled off properly.
I think it might be like reserved
mines.
for an end of fight.
I was like
if it
15
was
HP.
3 minutes, but instead like 30 seconds, then it would be
An end of
better.
fight.
Yeah, to end the round, I'd say.
Well, if we're already up like a couple kills, we shouldn't be ulting unless.
I think he means like a last.
Like the last
fight.
resort.
Oh, like okay,
Last fight, last resort.
yeah, okay, I got you.
And then feature you were like, she's
can't
like,
speak
what the
well.
fuck?
Oh, I fucked that up. Whatever.
Okay, I have EMP.
Do you wanna EMP blade?
I have mines also. I'm gonna use that on
EMP blade?
EMP blade, yeah.
Are you ready? Ready?
Also, with the EMP blade, we can be damage boosting the Genji. So like even if we don't nano blade, we can just like damage boost the Genji and pocket him.
3, 2, 1, now.
So we don't nano, which is fine. But we should probably be damage boosting him. He gets a kill on the Genji. Gets a kill on the
Big's low.
He frags
He was
him.
over here feeding, by the way.
Run,
But he dies because he kind of dashes in the 6 and the Mercy isn't there to help. So
I think it's also that we EMP'd and Genji went in, but like there's no other follow up.
Yeah.
Like Farah could have taken sort of this position and just shoot down from here. And then Big Dog could have gone in earlier.
Yeah, I mean, if you really think about it, we EMP and it's just pretty much me, Pig Dog, and so like our Sombra, our Ball, and our Genji doing all the work. The rest of the team is kind of poking and chilling. So it's 3v6 and we win off ults. But
Yeah, I'm just saying like Farah could
Oh, I
have
know,
had a
yeah,
better
Farah
working
could totally be
position
there.
from here.
I'm saying that like that's not good.
Yeah.
Like we shouldn't be winning 3v6 just off ults. I think we probably should have waited till they came in a bit more. That was my fault. That was my fault.
Can you go
Yeah,
back a
maybe
bit? Like a bit? I said something. I can't remember what it was though. Oh yeah, it was the diva. That's why I was there. Met out from the team and I was so just
Run.
because she was on quote unquote feeding,
Kill,
but
kill,
then
kill,
she
kill,
moved
kill,
back
kill.
over there.
Grab, sir! No.
So that was
Hey,
my
it's
bad.
Maybe you could have waited until they were like right here. That if they did want to go into here, like they'd sort of have to rush in, but like they wouldn't have speed.
Yeah.
But if you do it here, they just walk in there.
Yeah.
And
so,
here, even like Farah could get poking as they're going here.
Yeah. So pretty much I should wait till they're
Yeah.
about out in courtyard. I think is then the call out to use
Either
EMP.
courtyard or just like this choke here,
Yeah.
or whoever this is standing.
Okay. Also, again, I'm still not using high ground for some fucking reason. I need to be using high ground.
It's fine.
Alright.
Play passive.
That's not good. Like that was kind of also unlucky. Let me see what happens.
Feeding, by the way.
You know, he kills.
mean, like,
It's
Run,
it's
run,
fine if Big Dog dies here, because he has like he can just get
More
back really
mobility.
fast. But we need to set up for that. I don't think like
Kill,
y'all
kill,
realize
kill, 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 kill.
you have to play differently because he's not there.
Yeah, he was calling for us to kill the Rhine. Feels bad.
Even if we don't kill the Rhine there, it's not the end of the world though. I don't think that we need to risk it. They have spawn advantage over us. But he's ball and they're on goats, so it's actually kind of an even advantage. It's not a huge deal, but
Grab, sir! Oh no.
hey, also there's already full dick energy, I think. And we
It's
see
fine.
that she has
It's fine.
grav.
Play passive.
So do we talk about that? Do we talk about them having grav? I mean, we saw the check mark.
So play passive.
Nice.
Big boop. Alright, I have mines. I'm gonna use that when they come in, but I have to get back because I'm dead.
Really great angle here, Madfire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can res it.
It's okay if all
Yeah,
the
he
people
pinned
come
me. He
back.
pinned me into the
Just to
canal.
camouflage himself.
Luckily you get back and spawn
What the
faster.
hell?
Oh yeah.
They're
I mean, we
gonna
can see how
use
long-
self-destructing grab soon.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to go for a hack on Diva.
Nah, they ain't gonna use grab. It's gonna be our job.
Break half.
Okay, so we mine in. We mine in the same area where we impede. Again, probably want to take the fight in courtyard more often than in the alleyway.
Also, like going into the alleyway, it's sort of. I think our Ana was like back here, maybe.
Yeah, you're
It
not
sort
gonna
of
get
forces
heals.
her to like change her sight lines and maybe get her out of position.
I think I was looking for a
Yeah, it's gonna
Mines
be
are out.
hard to
Two
reflect
mines.
that.
So we
And
still
also, like this is more compact, so there's more of a chance you get like better value out of your mines.
also we don't talk about well, so I
Grav.
have
Yeah.
at all. Like we never talked about grav. We probably saw at
Shatter.
some point. Yeah, we never talk about any of those things. And I think that's what.
I was talking about grab. I said the grab was gonna be mine.
Oh yeah, I remember you did. You did talk about that later. Yeah.
Okay,
So they just wait for mines. So that bought us about 10 seconds or
After rally ends, they're probably gonna grab.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's good. That's good that we call that.
Watch out for Shatter too. He definitely has.
Yeah. Here calls Shatter. But we're already on the ground, and Pig Dog is already taking a shit ton of damage from the Zarya.
Where is he at?
Pig Dog is right here.
Oh, okay. Those damn bushes.
Yeah. Again, if you use high ground here, they can't really do anything about you. I know they should probably grapple down and you try to roll away, but if you can find a way to like swing back up to high ground, that's very, very good for you.
Has it? Oop.
Okay, so we nano him, so there's a chance he can survive, which is fine. I think that's a fine nano, because you saw that he was in danger. Losing him in the fight would have been big. So, we barraged behind them as well. We knew that they had trans. I think we didn't talk about it though. Maybe you didn't know. You still get a kill off of it though.
Except for Shatter too. He
They
definitely has it.
double support all for barrage.
They do. Yeah.
Yeah, they did. They triple support ulted.
Who in the video is just freaking out right now?
Well, I mean, they used
Might have been
rally
me.
earlier.
What'd you say, Mepper? Sorry.
They used rally early.
Yeah, they used rally
That
early
was
in the fight.
engage.
Yeah, but it was still kind of. Eh.
Kills Zen when he gets out of trance.
Oh
Get me out of here.
Goodbye.
For some reason, Silver Sack drops off of high ground.
Oh
Get me out of here.
Yeah. That res. Let me see what the logic
The
was.
trance.
Yeah, that's just not a good play to make. I kind of see, like, especially with the brig there, it's kind of one of those things where even if the bomb wasn't going off, you were probably going to die because they had a full big dick energy Zarya over here and a brig. So, I don't know. Yeah, she actually misses the stun, I think.
Oh
Get me out of here.
And you're dead there.
Goodbye.
D.Va no Mac, D.Va no Mac, D.Va no Mac,
Yeah,
D.Va no Mac.
again, I don't know what.
Goodbye.
From my ground. I think because he's thinking somebody has to contest, and if that's the case, then I know you know better than this. Silver sucks. Like, it's not your job to contest ever. Big Dog's also coming out of spawn, and you need to be in a position to pocket him, because he'll be able to contest much better than you ever can. So, D.Va no Mac, D.Va no Mac, D.Va no Mac, D.Va no Mac. They kill you here for sure.
I slept
There's no way you
someone.
don't die.
Rig.
I can. Yeah, so they kill you. So right now we're in a position where they've used all their ults, but they're starting to win the fight. But we're coming in on EMP, so there's a chance that if we regroup for this last fight, then we can win off EMP and build ults off that. I can EMP in a second. Snowballing holes. We're coming in on under 1 minute, so really that's like 1-2 fight territory. If we win a fight off EMP and build ults, then we could actually hold first.
I don't know if you should.
Yeah, but it's winnable. It's winnable.
Winnable.
Waiting for him.
So we call it it's winnable. Well, I call that it's winnable. We only really have 2 on point. I think the reason why I call winnable is because they only have 3 on point, and to me it just seemed winnable based on the numbers on the point. And they get 3. So I EMP too early. It's too fucking early. If I waited just a little bit, like to last minute to like the last point of cap, there's a really good chance that we would have been more even in numbers and we could have just won off the ult alone. Instead, I EMP for fuck it, which, yeah, I say fuck it, which is dumb. Go.
Alright, focus the target down, guys.
Also,
Get the Zarya
both me and
first.
Costanza's health.
I think that's just due to like lack of communication and knowing who is alive and who isn't.
Also,
Pichu goes for the contest.
even if I do EMP, I don't know who would contest. Because we lost ball. I think really what it came down to is, like, it would have been winnable had Pig Dog found a way to stay alive and contest longer. And I think part of that also came down to Silver Sack staying alive. If Silver Sack stays up on high ground and pockets Pig Dog as he's contesting point, there's a really good chance that he can continue to contest, we get numbers back, and then we fight with EMP, and we can hold the point. So,
Well, you didn't even have to take the fight at this right here. You could have waited.
Yeah, that's what I said
'Cause,
earlier.
like,
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, you were coming in here, and if Big Dog just waited. I
Yeah,
guess he
no.
didn't know that the game plan was EMP, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I get what you're saying.
It's just too early.
Yeah, no,
'Cause,
yeah, totally.
Let's
Yeah.
say you didn't come in and Big Dog didn't come in. It's just him on point, and even if he dies, it's like a 4 probably.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's what I'm
with,
saying.
the people from spawn.
Yeah, no, my EMP was way too early. But what I was saying is, if Silver Sax was alive and was able to keep Pig Dog alive, there's a good chance he could have contested at this last point, and then we could have EMP'd. But he was dead, and there was no way anybody. Yeah, it's winnable. It's winnable. The only people we had to contest were me and our Pharah, and our Pharah is 1 HP and is not going to be able to contest.
Looking back at that, I definitely need to work on my accuracy.
Alright, focus the target down, guys.
Because go back like a while before you EMP'd. What was it? Pig Dog. He called that the Zen, which was right here at the time, was 1 HP, and I just keep missing my shots. There's here, just here, and he falls back over here. It's not until both me and Pig dive him over here is when we kill him. So I definitely need to improve my mechanical accuracy on Pharah.
Okay. The biggest takeaways, though, and it goes for pretty much everybody, is we need to abuse high ground more, and we need to take the fights in the courtyard. If we do those two things, I think we hold here. Because and also, don't contest unless you're Pig Dog, pretty much. The only person that should be contesting is our Bull. That's his job. That's his sole job in this comp, really, is to contest. Nobody else in this comp is able to contest the point. So, yeah.
How does he do that without just getting blown up by the Zarya immediately?
You're stalling, I can get back.
Pocket it, and he plays it smart, and we also win the fight. Okay, so here, what I was talking about? Going back. Yeah, but it's winnable, it's winnable. Well, he dies here. Let me go back a little bit further. Even no Mac. We need to have a set point that we want to contest at. So we want to contest here. We want to contest it's off the you're drawing back at that choke, and this corner can be somewhere we can contest. But those two places are priority. Those two places are priority. So we're setting up to contest in those places so then we can take the fight, and then we win the overall fight. And that's our goal. Our goal is to win the overall, win the overall fight. But you have to contest the payload at some point, or else of course they'll just push the payload and then cap, and it doesn't matter. Even no Mac.
I slept someone.
Rig.
I can EMP in a second.
Yo, they're on.
I don't know if you should.
Yeah, but it's winnable. It's winnable.
Winnable.
Waiting for immersion.
Fuck it. Go.
Alright, focus the target down, guys. Get the Zarya first, if you can.
I'm down.
Maybe not winnable.
If you're stalling, I can get back.
Alright, I'm stalling then.
Potentially big puzzle.
We can do it. Winnable. Focus targets. Come on, call them out.
Rig.
Yo, should I blade?
Don't blade.
I got Zen.
Now you can blade. Then it's dead.
I need ult, please.
I'm gonna get mines here.
It actually did manage to get all
I was
6.
reloading.
Oh, okay.
It's right.
How did we do that?
Now you
Go back to.
I think it was Genji was.
It was actually right here.
Maybe not winnable.
If you're stalling,
Yeah,
I can get
Pichu
back.
contested, then it was Pig Dog, and Chrono Wolf.
Alright, I'm stalling then.
Potentially big puzzle.
Oh. Yeah, so I definitely could have just EMP'd. Unlucky. If that's the case, then we maybe could have won off that.
So next time we're on Rialto, we'll just have to hold those 2 points.
Yeah, we need to have in mind that we ult or we try to take the fight whenever the payload is at certain positions, like that position.
Rig.
Yo, should I blade?
don't blade.
I got Zen.
Now you can blade. Then it's dead.
I need ult, please.
I'm gonna get mines here.
What?
I was reloading.
Oh, okay.
Fortunate.
It's right.
Yeah, because Pig Dog dies, we can't contest.
Good stall. I'm gonna use mines
dead,
and then
I'm
I'll
dead.
switch Ryan.
Probably call it if we're reloading it on.
It's all good. That was a good hold, all considered.
That was my bad.
I think we should Maybe go summer goats when we get the chance.
Yeah,
After
I'm
we
just
use-
using mines and then I'll switch.
Sorry.
No, no. Yeah, use all of our ults this fight, and here's our problem. I think that we should have sacrificed these ults and just fucking swap. And then probably we swap because this point and third point are so goats favored.
Here, I can actually do that right now.
I mean, like using that's fine. I think he was able to get away with it. Yeah,
Nice
that's
ult.
fine. We need to
Nice.
just play.
Getting out.
Yep.
Maybe not.
No,
Zen's
I'm
one. Zen's one. Zen's roll one.
Oh,
Yeah, we could just.
D.Va's a long point. I need to get out.
Yeah, I did wind up swapping
I
the
got you.
brig after I used my ult there.
D.Va purple. D.Va purple. All right.
All right, so we win this fight.
Where's?
But we
oh,
still
Peachy
have blade, so and I
Where's
have
the
EMP.
fucking
We can
spawn
EMP blade. We can just EMP blade. Don't.
Can't remember. Did we have the Mercy Ana for that entirety of second point?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll save Nano for Big Dog then.
All right, I have EMP. We can EMP
Yeah.
blade whenever you want. And this is also another case where we want to probably wait till the payload gets to choke. We shouldn't be like trying to hold them here. We can give them a little bit of time to push the payload to about right here. I think.
I can also swing in and pile drive.
All right, I'm gonna do it. You ready? I'm gonna dive for it maybe. Unless you kill D.Va.
Oh my god, you booped him into the water.
That's fog.
Noise.
Dude, I can't get off fucking ball because I won't die.
Okay.
F.
And actually here, because we used our ults, we probably could have just taken this win and then just played further back and gotten on the comp we want to go. Everybody just could have went for a dip, but I think there was some reluctancy too because people were getting value off ultimates, but we knew that this was coming. They're coming up on ults. They swapped the monkey goats too, so it's countering what we're doing now. Well, at least in theory, it should. Dude, go and
My laugh.
drop in the water, take a swim. I bet you won't.
Just pile drive.
Okay, I literally say take a
I'm
swim.
in the water. Oh, dude, I should just go for some crazy shit and try to boop him off.
Watch this time, the graph's gonna be mine.
You were having fun there, though.
Oh, she's gonna whip me.
It's not ours.
Alright, just get back. We'll regroup.
I tried my best.
They're gonna push hard, just get out.
The rest was
But
good
they
in
did.
spirit, but Summer go or.
I should have called that they grabbed and
No,
bombed
they
there
shouldn't be
just
running
to get that out.
We ended up, yeah, rest in that's peace. a res where we shouldn't go for. We should only really be going for reses when the fight is still happening, like it's still winnable. We were all like trying to get on different heroes and trying to swap to goats. There's no reason, like you should actually, talking about Chrono or Sloth if you're playing, that's the situation where you just go in, you let the Ana die, you let her stay dead, I mean, and you die. And you get on the hero you need to be on, which is Lucio in this scenario. But
Zarya's
instead,
hacked.
Walk back to spawn.
Zarya doesn't have ult. She
Yeah, we
might.
need to push.
She stays on.
Play slow, but we need to push up so we can get test.
I can touch
Yeah.
whenever.
She needs to get on
Yeah,
Lucio.
Yeah, touch.
I should have calmed that they used bomb and grab because you thought that they were still like that. You thought that she was close to grab.
Also consider how, like, again, the number of fights that we have. Because we took that one fight and we were trying to swap there, they ended up pretty much full capping off of it.
Rest in peace.
For a second. That's the danger of staying on those heroes. We may never even have a chance to fight second.
Right.
Like again.
Zarya's hacked.
But yeah, we absolutely needed to just like let Silver's X die and get off Mercy and go Lucio.
Zarya doesn't have ult. She
Yeah, we
might.
need to push.
Also, like,
Play slow, but we need to push up.
we used all our ults like first 5. Then we're like, oh yeah, let's switch, and then no one switched. So like, either use all your ults and switch, or use the ults to win the fight. Stay on that.
Yeah, we should have taken a swim. We did, like, I think we won that fight. Cool, bought ourselves time. That alone would have given us time to swap to the heroes we wanted to, and taken a clean fight right here. The only negative side would be we would have been down in the ult economy, and
But we'd be building our goats ults
So yeah, exactly.
instead of like sort of staggering it,
for third point. Yeah.
You need to push up.
and probably force out their ults.
I can touch whenever.
anyways.
So they
Yeah,
did
touch.
use 4
Make
ult
sure.
to take second point. Down.
We have to touch.
I can. I was
Oh,
That's my bad. I didn't
Oh,
see you were.
Also,
Alright, back up,
Madfire,
back up,
huge
don't
props for
get
having just
staggered.
figure out who's talking.
Alright, they're pushing me hard. Backing up. Monkey's low?
Yeah, I think you're right. A lot of this comes
Don't let
down
them-
to just changing out in that on the fight on the bridge.
Yeah. Like if you watch a Overwatch League game, you'll notice that they'll like suicide all the time to swap heroes in situations like that because that actually gives the other team a free fight if you're not on a competent composition, you know. So and again, we're still on Mercy, man. We really needed to get off that. And she's still living.
Stagger
She's
us,
still
guys.
surviving.
Alright, at least they have
Right.
base grab. I have their
Their RVN were sort of like
Backing up.
kiting back.
Monkey's low?
You didn't need
Yeah,
to
I heard
dash
the
there.
I heard the
Don't
combat
let them
monkey
stagger
was
us
low.
here,
I
guys.
just
Alright, at
that
least
was
they have
just
these grab. I have their
impulse
shield.
there. That's my bad.
I've grabbed.
Alright, full reset, everyone like gets set. We have Nano, we have Valk, we're gonna have Grab. That's what we're using
They
there.
have
Yeah, almost have EMP. I'm gonna go get it.
Don't rush
Also,
it,
like,
don't rush it,
Bash
make sure you
does
get a full
5
fight.
damage, so it's not really like. You're better off using it to stun someone that's
In the team.
approaching your
Easy
Rhine or
point.
something, yeah.
I'm on point.
Monkeys
Rather
ulting.
than
Okay. This is, all,
damage.
this is all chaos right here. Let me go back a little bit. Alright, so now we have reset, or we are resetting. We're coming up on our Grav. We have Rally. We have Nano. And we'll soon have EMP. We don't talk about their ults, so that's one thing we needed to do. We didn't have EMP to like see their ults, and I didn't hack either of the supports to see them, but we should have noticed that they didn't use its second point at all, so they definitely should be coming up on those ults. And they just use Grav, so we know they don't have Grav, and they didn't use Bomb with the Grav, so they probably have Bomb. And we also heard them use Rally earlier, so there's a good reason for us to know that they have all the ults that they have or don't have. But we don't really talk about it. Our win condition of like beating their support combo is like if we grab, we can trade that for both of them, and we can probably EMP after and then win. Or we could EMP and then grab and then just win off EMP grab. And
You could also just hack the Zen.
almost have EMP. I'm gonna go get it.
They have the
Don't rush
chance
it,
to use trance, and then when they use beat, you can just sacrifice the EMP to just negate beat.
If that plays
altogether.
open, then yeah, but it's not always open. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like it's not like I can just drop in from the sky and like, you know, hack the Zen. But if it's open, then yeah, totally, it's a play.
Don't rush it, make sure we get a full fight here.
So the monkey dives straight up into our team. You should be stunning his ass, and we should be killing his ass.
That's what I was trying to do.
They bubble him. Ooh, we charge him.
Yeah.
It's ballsy ass charge.
I did try to do the stun, but he had the bubble.
That's when we nano him too. We charge it. We nano him because yeah, it was looking like he was probably gonna die. He's a good point. I get the idea of the charge, but probably could have like taken a shorter pin. And
I
What?
I noticed he used projected bubble a little bit early here, Pichu. You could have saved it until like Ryan was touching payload.
Yeah, true. Also pinning away the monkey, like obviously the pin does damage, but it takes him away from our team where we'd be doing more damage. So pinning him here wasn't the play. You almost pin him against the post there, actually, but either way.
Unluck.
Somebody needs a good point. Alright, so now we're coming with ults. We just nanoed our Ryan. They just primal. Again, we should know that they have support ults.
I'm on point.
If like we know that they have support ults, then actually Ryan should be going aggro on their supports if possible. Because if you trade on them for one of their ults, then that's awesome. Lucio has ult! Lucio has ult! Lucio has ult! Alright, so we know that they have ult. They're now using bomb in the middle of chaos. It's kind of fortunate for us that they're using bomb, unless of course it gets kills for some reason. Like there's no reason it should get kills in this situation.
I don't think it did it.
Yeah, there's no reason it should, because we're all in positions where we should be able to get cover, but it's good for us because they bomb halfway between having Grav. you know, it's kind of like they're just staggering their ults there.
Touch bomb. I'm gonna. Oops.
Alright, how the fuck does that happen?
Lucio's ult.
Touch bomb. I'm gonna boot.
The Bridget was right here
Brig stunned.
behind.
Brig stunned. Yeah.
Unfortunate. The Winston booped him up
Touch
over
bomb.
there.
I'm gonna boot.
Yeah. And you're in third person, so you might have been able to see the Brig. In that case, maybe actually you like angle your, instead of angling your shield there.
I actually wasn't angling it towards that.
I'm not talking
I
about
was
you.
angling it towards.
You don't
Oh,
die here.
my
Yeah.
bad.
So I'm not even talking about you, dude.
F.
Has ult. Lucio has ult. Lucio's ult.
I'm not angling your shield.
Touch bomb. I'm gonna.
If he saw that the Brig was there, I don't know if he did. Hopefully he did. But if he saw that the Brig was there, instead of angling the shield like this, which he does, he could have angled it like this. And it would have prevented the stun. It's kind of a little thing that might have made a difference. Also, Pichu, communicate your bubbles. And you also can tank that for the rest of the team. If you can get yourself in between you and the team with your bubble, then you're killing two birds with one stone. You're saving yourself, you're giving yourself, well, three birds. You're getting energy, you're saving yourself, and you're saving your teammates. So.
Alright, get the grab.
We grab right after. They trance. I think, honestly, grabbing there's fine. Like, it's kind of a... Like, we needed to potentially use ults because, like, that's a big... Like, that's really, really big for them. And it might be last fight, so...
Focus grab, focus grab, focus grab.
We don't get any kills off of it. They, I EMP here too, you see. But they use trance.
Use trance.
Okay, so we EMP after.
Focus, focus, focus.
We say focus, 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 but like nobody's really focusing a target, unfortunately, and nobody's talking about who they're swinging at. Really, the target of focus seems to be this is Brig right here. But I don't know.
1 second, Pichu.
I shouldn't have EMP'd. I should have waited on EMP.
Call a target, guys.
Brig is one.
Yeah, break.
Look at chatter.
How did you die?
So I was
You
there
focus,
dueling
focus, focus.
Lucio, then we moved over here. That's when the graph was, and then that's when
Well,
with the combined powers of me
let's
and
see what you
Pichu
do.
got him.
I want to see where you go.
Alright, get the grab.
Yeah, so you come over here from the bomb, and you walk all the way around and then through the team. Don't do that. Just stay in front. Stay with the team. Because not only are you not giving your team healing, probably, from where you're playing, you're also just putting yourself at risk. So definitely don't, like, walk all the way around like that.
Sorry guys, but I gotta head out.
Okay, that's cool.
I'll watch the VOD video once you post it.
Okay, cool.
Have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks.
Focus grab, focus grab, focus grab.
They use trance.
Focus, focus, focus.
1 second, Pichu.
Call a target, guys.
Brig is one.
Yeah, break.
Look at chatter.
Dead.
We got this, we got this.
Got him.
Big
Point,
shatter.
point.
Oh no.
No.
Feels bad.
Alright.
Go again.
That's fine.
Go again. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, the bomb ultimately ended up winning them the fight, and it's sad because the bomb wasn't any good either. The bomb
Yeah,
was
it's
kind of
always better to get one real fight than like a scuffed one.
Alright, let's fast
Rolling.
forward. If we lose,
Don't grab me.
it's fine. Just be aware that playing floats, then big game.
There.
I'm just highlighting that to show off what we were doing. Each time.
I know, I'm gonna wait until, because people are changing heroes. Okay, yeah, so we talk about going, like, bunker on payload, and that's fine. Yeah, I called it, so of course I think it's fine, but, and our plan was to swap immediately after we realized that wasn't gonna work.
I think we did.
We do. Go. Let me see if there was a way forward. If there was a mistake that we made.
Oh, fuck that.
Alright, so first off, Pichu goes up to high ground. Which is fine as long as he turns back around and he's ready to DM the payload.
Try to go for a pull on the right side. They're gonna speed.
He doesn't though. Whenever you know that the high ground's been cleared, And that's whenever probably you just need to turn around and watch the payload, because whenever you're playing this kind of a composition, you're playing the like protect the president strat. Your job as diva is to pocket the bastion, just like most of the things in the composition. So
Like right side by himself. I mean left side, left side.
they jump on me, they bubble me off,
New shield.
and they kill me because he also he fucks up the shield and it's on the ground, so I'm not getting anything from it. And they kill me.
And
Can you use your-
immortality field came too late.
Yeah, it came too late.
Like right side.
So it really was
And also,
3
you're
kills.
discorded, so
Yeah. It's basically everything that could have went wrong. We fucked up our shield. You know, our diva's out of position. I'm discorded, and our immortality thing comes out too late.
Side by himself. I mean left side, left side.
Yeah, we're
Monkey ban,
doing
monkey ban.
New shield.
But yeah, like the shield's up on the ground, and
New shield.
yeah.
Can you use your?
Also, he's not like you're shooting down this way, and you weren't ever DMing the bastion.
Your thingy?
Yeah.
Okay. Monkey ban, monkey ban.
New shield.
Ballsy res.
They're
He
gonna
said
speed up
like
on the.
right side by himself.
Yeah,
and
but like they were inside of our team, so I don't expect them to have
Left
a
side,
quick
left side.
res.
Monkey ban, monkey ban.
New shield. New shield.
Can you use your thingy?
Yeah,
she tries to
monkey
res.
bubbled
She
it
does
off.
get the res. But like it's not worth because we don't have payload control anymore.
No,
The only way this comp works is if we have payload control. That's a good kill on the.
Okay, we swap. We swap. I think. No, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, you should hold a lot there.
Yeah. No, we swap and we take advantage of the spawn advantage.
Oh,
Yeah, if Pichu
Kinda.
D-Max there, then that's a big feed. It's no win.
swap the line.
It's full
I
good.
don't think that fight was lost.
It probably was lost. Just because we need a payload control. Or like the only way that this comp works is if we have payload control, really.
We could have won that one.
There were a couple deaths at the end, but we were still down about 2.
Oh, we just spoke.
You just use dragon.
Do
Knight Swan
swap, I
Witch.
think. I just dragon just.
No!
Oh no.
Just use dragon at Swan actually.
Alright, we have to reset.
Okay, unlucky.
Alright, well we can maybe chase
I was
the
just trying
dragon.
to see if any value came.
I mean, yeah, you're swapping out.
Swan actually.
Alright, we have to reset.
Alright, yeah. Pichu, you gotta get out of there. Like, they're gonna D-Mac you there.
Okay, unlucky.
Alright, well we can maybe chase the dragons in case it gets something.
I'm gonna bubble you for energy. Ready?
Alright.
Get out, get out, get out. Get out, get out.
Alright. We can push Winston pretty hard too. They shouldn't be running it.
Alright, get out, get out. If we don't have everybody.
Discord's on monkey.
Alright. Positioning wise, you're way out of position here, Avian. I'll bubble
Bubble
you
broke.
because you're out of position, which kind of fucks over our Rhine.
Broken. Diva's half.
Yeah, get
Discord
Diva.
on Diva.
Go
Discord on
get
Diva.
Diva one. She's out.
I think that was
Actually,
sorry.
monkey, monkey, monkey.
It was a bubble. Yeah, but I saw that. I mean, at least my thought was my brig is in front of my Rhine and me, Zarya.
Yeah.
So, and he's like walking into the whole team. So my thought was, my brig is gonna get blown the fuck up.
Bubble broken.
So I bubble.
I don't think
Diva's
you got
half.
any charge
Yeah,
from
get
that.
Diva.
Diva.
Because I was just prodding there just to
Alright, get out, get out.
build up all because I
If we don't have
compared
everybody.
to the rest, I was behind.
It's on monkey.
No, I do. I definitely do.
Bubble broke.
Because you can. I mean, unfortunately, you can't see like. But
I
you
know,
can see
right?
her charge right there.
You
But
can see her backpack light up.
Diva's half.
so it definitely did get charged up.
Yeah, get
Discord
Diva.
on Diva. Discord on
The monkey dives into us. This is where,
Are we
if
in?
you have better positioning, dude, you could have stunned his ass and we could have killed him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so like playing Brig against Monkey Goats is different from playing against Rhine Goats because you need to be in a position where you can just stun the monkey, whereas like, because he's not going to be like directly facing your Rhine, as opposed to like in Rhine Goats, so you sort of need to be like in the middle of your team rather than like sort of right up with your Rhine.
Mhm.
So. Also, like usually they're gonna bubble him in, or they're gonna like use bubble like a little bit delayed. So, I mean, even if he jumps in and he gets bubbled like right after he lands, his his jump is still on cooldown, so you can burn through the bubble and just stun him after. You don't necessarily need to bash him right away.
Yeah. Also, I want to note that, like, since I got full charge, I go on like a full big dick flank here, and I do get a kill, but it was probably way too risky.
Actually, monkey.
Yeah, I go up in there with you.
Yes.
Well, no, you go back to the team.
Heal me up.
But you see where I'm at.
Yeah.
I think now we
Heal me,
have
heal me, heal me.
sped in.
I think we do.
I think we do.
Well, he's on healing song right now. She's on. Or they're on healing song.
We should have.
Heal me.
I'm on.
We killed the Zarya, and then we should have switched to that brig inside of us.
Yeah. We should have been on speed the whole way through, for sure.
Yeah, because we already got the opening 2 picks.
Yeah, and I die for being there, but there's a chance that if we're on speed, then we could have converged, and I could have been fine. But heal me, please.
I think it might have been okay if you had personal bubble. I don't know if you went in with it.
The trance there.
Heal me.
Yes. Heal me up.
Heal me. He's calling for healing him up. Heal me. And he's like 400 HP.
I'm on heal.
I bubble brig again because you're in front of everybody. Heal me, please.
That's fine. I think Big Dog is
Alright.
he's kind of out of position relative to the rest of his teammates because his brig and his D.Va are pushing up.
Yeah. I think Ryan's got.
I think we heard the call to push up, and then Pichu does.
Kill break.
The bomb in wasn't good. Oh shit. Fuck, where was it?
You're way farther back.
No, it was right here.
This goes on my kick.
Kill break.
Yeah, the bomb in isn't good because it's like what we talked about before, like the mistake that they made that they should have been punished for. Whenever they bombed halfway between the Zarya and the Zarya. If I have halfway, then that's where you need to either probably save it at that point. Like try to save it if you can. Because we're gonna be very staggered with our ults. Then if I stayed alive, then under 10%, you don't use it here because like I would have had it pretty soon.
Kill break.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're thinking here, though. I know you're thinking that they don't have like Monkey. It's a free one. And they don't have Zarya, so it's free. But there's like natural cover on Courtyard, so they just walk away. What are you trying to do?
They sort of split off here. So like, there's this brig, there's the D.Va, there's the Zen, the Lucio. We should have focused, called one out and then just sped all of us onto the Zen or onto the brig and just melt them and sort of steamroll that because like they're already down Monkey or he's coming back from spawn, they're down to Zarya. So like, if we don't get another pick like pretty quickly and we let the D.Va remech, it turns it from like sort of in our favor to back into their favor.
Yeah. Also, we're on heals here still. We need to be switching back to speed. For sure. There's no reason to not be on speed. We're up in the fight. Everybody's full health. We're using an ult in. We need to be speeding in. The only time that you really need to go to heals, like your job as Lucio, isn't necessarily to heal all the time. Just like your default should always be speed. Like you should just be on speed, out of spawn, chilling on speed, and then switch to heals when you need to heal. But then after that's done, then you go back to speed, right? And then you just like even if you aren't moving anywhere, it's better to be on speed at default than on heals at default.
Especially like if like the Monkey did, he jumped in and we killed him pretty quick.
We just speed in.
Our overall like damage that we've taken shouldn't be that high, so we can just speed in onto the next target immediately.
Yeah, exactly. Also, this Zen back here, holy moly.
I think Silver called it out.
Yeah, Silver does call it out, and Silver.
We should have gotten him when he was on the steps here.
Yeah, he kills him, but holy.
Yeah.
Like
either the Zen that was right here or the brig that was right here.
Yeah. Okay, so we trance. I think he trances because he's low. That's the only explanation I can think of.
Nice kill, nice kill.
Push the
Top
trance,
targets,
push the
top targets.
trance.
But I think I gave him the armor pack anyway.
Yeah, you did, but either way, yeah, the only reason why Silver Sax trances here is because he's low. That's where Silver Sax, you just need to communicate that you're low, and then like call for healing. Yeah, don't use trance for that. I know, like, you use trance because you were scared, pretty much, and yeah. Also, Pig Dog says, well, they're using trance, like, we need to get value out of it, so he charges the fucking, like, just deep. And luckily, their monkey's a dummy, and he just primals him back into our team. But he's still low, and he's probably gonna die first.
Push the trance, push the trance.
So, here their diva uses boosters.
Rig is still low, I need heals very bad.
I guess we get pushed back, but if like we took that slow, their diva probably would have used boosters and we'd be like still here. Their diva would be out of position.
Yeah. What the fuck happens here?
The usual.
What is happening?
Yeah, I know, but like, how do we die?
You might want to let the entire thing play for. That came out wrong.
What is happening to my game?
Okay, so Lucio's here. Zen is here. And we die to the bomb that's up here. Unlucky. Yeah. I mean, if the Lucio just walks forward just a little bit, then he's fine. And if the Zen just walks over here just a little bit, then he's fine.
Also, I'm gonna rewind it back to when Pig charges
Yeah,
in.
go for it, dude.
Zen's on card.
Nice kill, nice kill.
Push the
Top
trance,
targets,
push the
top
trance.
targets.
So he charges in, and that sort of like
Rig is
disrupts
still
our
low, I need heals
shape,
very badly.
and he gets pushed back into this room. And we get grabbed.
What is happening to my game?
In my opinion, I think we all should have gone
Whoop.
into that room and just play
I'm gonna
out
double the
in
map.
that room
We have Shatter and Brawley,
and just like
and we have
make
Monkey
them
barrier.
We'll have grab bomb soon.
Is the video lagging for anyone else?
Yeah, it's lagging for me.
Okay.
RVN, try to use your
Looks like it's buffering and
armor pack like later in the fight. Don't use it to start. Like, only whenever you see somebody you're thinking about.
Or 40 to, oh yeah,
Actually, they don't need bash at it in Winston.
Oh yeah, that's right. Bluff.
Got him.
Monkey,
Diva.
monkey, no jump.
She's out.
DVD max. Zarya on point. Discorded.
Who goes there? Oh, what's up, Moisty?
Hey, I just joined. I wasn't sure if we were still doing it, so I thought I might as well join.
yeah.
If you go to Thawd's channel,
Okay.
yeah, and you click on the last one that says live, and it's q.gg.
All right.
Yeah, you might
Yeah,
have
sorry I
an
wasn't
account.
here. I was already out when I got that message.
It's okay.
Okay, I just got my food. I'm gonna be eating as
That's fine.
I will mute myself so you guys don't have ASMR.
Actually, they don't need bash at it in Winston.
Oh yeah, that's right. Bluff.
Got him.
Monkey, monkey, no jump.
She's out.
We
DVD
get
max.
kind of split because
Zarya on point.
it's like after that we sort of push into here, but like we should just rally back with our Ryan, and then Ryan should call a new target or
And
Lucio to speed onto.
that's our target, by the way. He keeps on jumping into positions like this. We can punish that. I can, like, I'm already shooting at him, I think.
Discorded.
Monkey one right up front.
Yeah, he was one. He gets out. He gets bubbled. Anyway,
Monkey's one.
we can still kill him though, because he's like still getting.
Monkey's
pretty
still
low.
one.
Monkey dead. Please kill Zarya. Rig is discorded.
So we trance in.
Rig is on point. Discorded.
We have our
Bomb
She
in.
has no shield bash.
We had
She's
our combo.
Rig is on.
Yeah, it's one of those things, Beachy, you just
Rig
gotta
is
push
discorded?
back. And we did talk about it the fight before. And I know you're, like, I know exactly what you're thinking. Every time you see their main tank dies, it's a free bomb on ladder. Yeah, totally. But here's the deal. If their main tank dies, and we're playing in goats, then it's even more free if we just fucking, like, combo it. Right? Because there's nothing they can do to block it at all. I mean, even if they have monkey, like, you can just put it in the bubble, but...
Also here, they use. That looks like two bubbles. Might just be one bubble.
Yeah.
But either way, they use team bubble, so that's a target to speed on. But there's a break here, and she's literally in our whole team. She should die really quickly.
Yeah, she's inting really
Or
hard.
as quick
Rig
as
is
the
on
break
point
can die.
discorded.
And she's discorded.
You're out of position here.
RVN or me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He has no
You
shield
need to
bash,
be
she's
with
sad.
Or with
Yeah,
our
you do
supports.
that?
Mostly with our
Discord point,
supports when
discorded.
like before the fight's about to start.
Alright.
Alright, three on cart, and move up so they don't get a.
So we clean up and we have to
For a
cap.
moment, I thought they had
I have
Ryan.
grab. I can grab them off point probably. We're gonna.
So I grab here, I know I do, because I remember. I think I grabbed them to stop them from touching point, and I think it was probably fine because we just used bomb. So it's
I
better
almost
that I
had
use
Shatter
it quicker than later.
I can.
I should have grabbed that Ryan. I should have just grabbed that Ryan, because if the Ryan
I
wasn't down,
think I actually
then
bashed him and then flailed him off the map.
everybody booped him. Everybody booped him. It was kind of funny. But either way, I could have just grabbed him right here, and then he wouldn't, like, if his pin was good and he wasn't, you know, booped, then he would have never been able to touch the point, and we could have just killed him right
Oh,
off the
you just.
I got him
bat.
off.
Yeah.
I
I
can't
grabbed
get
him
back.
off cart.
Back maybe.
I got him off.
Did I need to? I mean, I was going to.
Oh, you just.
I think the grab was better if you
I can-
didn't do to Ryan. I think that grab was actually really good.
Oh, you just.
Because if you did it to the Ryan, they wouldn't have gone in, and it wouldn't have
I
used
can't get
trance
back
like that.
maybe. Got them all.
We didn't even need to.
Break.
Yeah, we didn't need to.
We already capped.
Kill him
Sorry,
dead.
next.
Defense are on point.
Dead.
Yeah. And, of course, because it's goats, you know, he's almost got another bomb.
Nice.
Yeah, this is one problem that we had is we never got off a single combo with and against monkey goats especially, it's so free. But we need to get off those combos. Those are like that's the bread and butter of goats. That's how you win those.
Dude,
team
who
fights.
booped that charging Ryan?
That was me.
Also, Pig Dog doesn't.
I missed my
charge,
counter pin.
but,
It's alright. It was just.
you know, yeah, he talks about it, but he should have died there. He's all the way over here in Narnia.
Just funny.
No. I ate it for charge.
Wait, you booped them? I booped them too.
No, that was I shot.
That's right.
I popped him.
Well, somehow I
Okay,
still
we
ate
have
it for
beat,
charge.
we have beat, and we have bomb. You can go ahead and bomb because we're only like.
Pause it.
I'll tell you when I get trans, okay?
So right there, I feel kind of sad for Sam, but I don't think me and Future should have been patting ourselves in the back on who booped who. We should have been commenting, what else do they have?
Yeah,
Instead,
definitely.
I'll tell you when I
Go
get trans.
first. Zarya has
Oh,
no ball.
they used bubble early. I think if we save this bubble, they just use
No
bubble,
bubbles, no bubbles,
and we
no
speed in
bubbles,
on
be
that,
careful,
and
be
we
careful.
don't boop them.
Yeah, and you hear me calling no bubbles too.
Especially
Hey,
on
hey, hey.
goats, you don't want to use your boop abilities.
Yeah, this is a biggie. I want to see how that happens.
When I
Go
get trans.
first. Zarya has no ball.
Why is Kate
No
doing
bubbles,
it?
no bubbles, no bubbles.
Yeah, I think it was a telegraphed one, and you'd had a goodie because he's walking into our whole team, and then Ryan's like back here. Yeah, that's a good.
Be careful, be careful,
I
be
ate it,
patient.
I ate
be
it,
patient.
I ate it.
Nice.
Watch shatter. Watch shatter.
Okay, so we stun, and again we throw in bomb. I just died. How did I die?
Be careful,
I
be
ate it, I ate
patient.
it, I
be
ate it,
patient.
I ate it.
Nice.
I'm like way back here, and how did I?
Watch shatter. Watch shatter.
I think, yeah, I
I
go
think
in
you
on.
just get farmed.
Yeah, I go in on.
Zarya.
Yeah, I do. But I still walk back here, and okay, yeah. Oh,
Third
dude,
Ryan.
we gotta kill off that. Actually,
I got Zen, I got
so
Zen.
we really had no business getting a kill off that though.
behind me, Zep.
Yeah, they waste their bomb too though. So
I have no barrier. Watch out. Kill Ryan.
he's also
Ryan
feeding
feeding.
too.
Ryan's feeding.
Good
Kill
for
him.
Ryan.
Make it Zarya, Zarya.
Yep. Defense Zarya. DVD back.
Yo, go, bring on your back up, bring on your
Zarya.
back up.
Zarya. Zarya's by herself.
Especially if we
Alright,
call
Zarya low.
Brig in our back
Maybe
line.
defense.
That's when we need to turn around.
Davis
Sorry.
I think I was playing too much with our
Alright,
Ryan.
let me
too
get
much with our
let me get charge. We can charge.
Boogie.
As Brig, you
Yeah,
sort of
like
need to like
160.
balance the two.
Hey, RV,
But
okay.
my
RV's
opinion,
gonna look for
like,
Bash.
Yep, I'm looking
once
for
you
Bash.
get up that Inspire, your job is to like, stay alive.
Yeah.
Because you just have all your abilities that do so much.
Yeah. All right. So, ults. Again, we don't talk about it, but yeah, they have ults. They're going with rally. They use their we use our stun. I know we're going for a stun shatter play, but he gets bubbled, so we shatter it, but it gets nobody because he's bubbled.
Oh no!
Also, you're now in feed land.
We got bubbled, that's right.
And you die. And then he shatters us. That's a good beat though. I don't know if he saw that play coming.
Oh no!
We got bubbled, that's right.
Yeah, he did. That's good. That was a really good beat.
Yo, Ryan?
And they grab right after. This is looking like more of a lost fight because we lose our brig here, and then Pig Dog is also in Feedlandia. Did I just?
After
okay, no, we're good.
Trans.
That's right.
I think after our Brig dies, we just
okay.
gotta go.
We didn't. We're down two.
Fall back.
Yeah,
They're gonna
if
have closer respawns anyways.
yeah, true. Yeah, but
And if we called it earlier, they have more ults.
let me see.
Okay.
We didn't.
Trans after trans.
Yeah, we call for trance, and trance is fine. Actually, that whole thing would have been fine had you guys not been over here in Feedlandia.
That's right.
Okay.
We didn't. We're down two.
Fall back.
Ryan's pretty far forward.
He's beating hella hard.
Yeah, you might be able to kill him actually. I'm about
I
to
got
back
him
as well.
Stabilizing a bit.
Yep,
We're
we
all
can
here, I'll
push.
stay.
You can push while before he has a chance to reset.
Alright,
He
we
still
have
has
combo.
shatter, I think.
We have combo.
No, he used it.
Okay.
He used it right as
No bubbles, no bubbles.
needed.
They're up on high ground. They're up on high ground.
No projected on right. Ryan is booted.
Get the right.
Focus right. I'm low.
Brig is.
They grab.
That's too far.
I'm
They're
hitting.
dropping bomb.
Our Brig.
That's too far.
I'm
They're
hitting.
dropping bomb.
Yeah, he threw it too far too.
Grab.
That's just kind of one of those things where you finesse the bomb in. So, have you ever seen like I've seen Emong and like, the typical Reddit like diva players do it, and I do it too. Like where you fly into the ground with your nose, like your nose in the dirt, and you kind of do like a little sliding, little slow kind of bomb. That's what you need to do, and you try to drop it in the middle, like you want a little dime, like right there, boom, right in the middle of it, and then from there, like I see Chrono tries to go for a play here too.
That's too far.
I'm hitting.
And the play would have been fine.
My bash was 1 second too late. Pig Dog
Our Brig.
accidentally charged the wrong one. I died to the bomb. Yeah.
Need to be careful.
Ryan is.
There's still a chance that we can win this fight, though. Maybe we're down, but
One.
they don't have ults because they used all their ults last fight. And,
I can't play.
Keep me up.
I'm trying. I'm on heals already.
Fuck.
Winnable.
yeah, definitely don't need to.
I can't play.
Keep me up.
I'm trying.
Yeah, don't shatter there. It's a really risky play. Your first priority should be keeping yourself alive, and you knew that. You said it. You said keep me up. I bubbled you. We had heals on you. We were doing everything we could, but because Brig died, we had no armor pack for you, so we had no form of burst heals. So you were bound to die, unless you like just hard shielded and kept kiting, and then maybe you could have lived. But yeah.
I'm on heals already.
Fuck.
Winnable.
No, you're down one. We're gonna get one more fight if we get out. Don't drag this out.
Shh. They don't know. Watch this.
Yeah, and this is where Pichu's gonna try to touch because it's last fight.
I can touch. I'm baby diva though.
Can you get it, Pichu?
yeah.
Don't stress. I'm making my way
The
there.
Mission Impossible theme song plays right here.
Chrono.
I'm on it. I'm on
I
it.
got a pin
If you waited a second, you could have seen 9 that.
If someone touches, we're fine. Alright,
I tried so hard.
I'm out of.
You see me there using my, well, I go in there million miles per hour trying to like, I will save you.
Fuck. I didn't know
Push
we
the
were
trance, push the trance.
I actually don't know why they should just push that.
Discord Ryan.
How was I still alive?
Wait, Pichu is still alive. Not no more though.
I'm dead.
Oh, man.
Engage drive to maximum.
This is another fight where it actually might have been potentially like it's a real fight. Like we got there, we were down 1, but we could have maybe won this. But we got panicked and sloppy with number 1 our support ults. We beat in, which is good. Yeah, that's fine. We knew that they used grab earlier, and we assumed that they didn't have it. The only thing that maybe we could have saved it for was for bomb. But
Push.
I think Chrono actually tried to beat to save my life.
Focus.
Fuck.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you hear him.
And
I didn't know
then
we were
he
gonna
used that.
And then he says, yeah, I didn't know we were gonna trance, and then Summersex trances in. I have no problem with people using ults here because it's last fight, but we could have maybe shown a little bit more restraint.
Go right.
Go.
Discord Ryan.
Yeah, the Ryan and the beat.
Discord Ryan.
I'm dead.
Our bomb?
Discord Ryan.
Discord Ryan.
I'm dead.
And at this point, it's just a lost fight.
Ryan 1. Ryan low.
Forever is dead.
So the biggest takeaways that I noticed is when we're playing ball comp, we need to abuse more high ground. We also need to take fights in open areas where the high ground and crossfire is giving us more advantage. So if we're playing the ball comp on first point defense, we need to be playing out in courtyard. Let them push it out to courtyard, and then we play from courtyard and we abuse high ground. And we always need to be looking for the bomb combo, and we need to practice a little bit more too. We need to get to where we're number 1, we're in sync with when we want to use it, and number 2, we're dropping the bombs in the right spot. And also with that we can start once we get that part down, then we can get into the Lucio going for boops, and we can get into the Ryan going for pins, and the other details that will make it even better. But those 2 things we need to make sure we get done. But yeah.
I will say the scrim that we did the day after this,
full goats.
We were in goats. I think we did look a bit better than we did here.
We did much better. You especially were much better because you kind of figured to play Brig a bit more defensively and kept yourself alive a lot longer. So
Thanks. I now have a bigger ego.
let me cut this VOD for